Hi there, Scott ROCKFILE back with another podcast review for you. Well, kind of. More of a discussion, I guess, about Season 2 of 12 Monkeys. So last year I started reviewing 12 Monkeys episode by episode, and some life stuff happened and everything else. And with the vast changes that were happening in the storyline from episode to episode, horrible spoiler territory. It's a time travel show. It just got to be cumbersome to try and chronicle each single episode. So I recently started the second season over and got back into it. And what I was afraid of when I watched the first couple of seasons, or first couple of episodes and reviewed it, that this whole Deacon thing was going to kind of take over, and they would, do what TV shows like this do to save money, kind of stay in the same location and whatever, but they didn't. They absolutely did not. This show, when I thought it was going to zig left, it zigged right. And when I thought it was going to go right, it went left. It did a whole bunch of things over this season. I am one episode from the end of the third season. I just finished episode 12. There's 13 episodes in the second season that came out in 2016. And I think it's a great show. I don't know how I missed, well, I know how I missed it. A TV show based on a movie I love. Why? The big thing was why. But in watching it, it's done exactly what I like with these reboots, remakes, or whatever. It's charting its own course. It's doing its own thing. In the first season, the first couple episodes, they kind of got through the plot of the movie, and then they took off with it. And they've expanded the mythology, kind of a la John Wick, by doing all sorts of things in the background and then tying it in later with some bigger things. And yeah, so it's feeding on top of itself. And anytime they've had the opportunity to kind of do the lowest common denominator thing with a character, they've kind of avoided that opportunity. I thought they were going to make this guy a bad guy, and he's been a good guy, a bad guy, a good guy. They flipped him so many times you don't really care what he's going to be next. They did do the Deacon storyline differently. Matter of fact, the storylines of all of them a little bit differently. Really don't have too many complaints. They're not wasting a lot of time. A time travel show can waste a lot of time if you're not familiar with these kind of shows, because they can do several episodes in a timeline and then erase that timeline. And then basically what you've watched is pointless. It's kind of a waste of time. They don't do that a whole lot. Their whole goal is to try and erase a timeline, but everything stays within. And there's not a whole lot of that time travel show BS that I call it, to erase things and reset things. They don't do that a lot, which is cool. Like I said, they've done some surprising things with the characters, not always what I would have done or the best things. What just happened here at the end of the second season, I'm having a little hard time swallowing it. They've kind of popped up with an epic romance now. Okay, that felt like a very TV show moment, probably one of the only disappointing things that's happened. Yes, we were working up towards it, but it just feels like they kind of just drop it right here in the penultimate episode to the end of the season. But I'm looking forward to the next episode. Where they left it at the end of this one is very interesting. I can't get into spoilers. It's really hard to talk about this show unless we do. When I have a better opportunity to stream live, maybe we'll have some discussions about this, and I'll let people know who have watched the show, because this was 2016. It's been out for a few years. It lasted only 4 seasons. I thought it was 5 seasons. Anyway, I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it. I've really enjoyed where it's gone. I honestly thought it would start running the same old ground in the middle of the second season. I really thought I knew where it was going, and I just wasn't. And then I thought it was going to do some things that were also irritating, that it was going to jump around too much. And they haven't done that either. They have subverted expectations. They have changed storylines from the original movie. They're now much farther down the road. They have expanded on the whole mythology of the time travel and the people who are trying to destroy the world. And I found it to be a quite captivating series. And I get bored with TV series really easy. Again, there was a little bit of a jump the shark here in the second to last episode of season 2, but it will be interesting to see what happens in the last episode and leading into the final couple of seasons. It really felt like season 2 was working towards the end of the show. That they were going to, this was going to be the final episode. I guess it's not, if there's at least two more seasons to go after this. So I've got one more episode, and then I'll give you maybe a more detailed review, and I'll do a little more on the plotline thing, because that way you'll know, well, this encompasses the whole second season. If I get into spoilers, you won't listen to that until you've watched the second season, hopefully. But if this, like me, has slipped under your radar, check out 12 Monkeys. It's different than the movie. It's not Terry Gilliam, but the storyline is the same, and they've done different things with it, keeping it interesting. I like a good time travel show, and so far, this is not, like I said, not jumping the shark, not pulling the lowest common denominator thing. They're doing some intelligent things with it, and I think sometimes the MacGuffin of, oh, look, all of a sudden we can time travel easily, if they do something like that, they then put another kind of restriction in place that they can't do something else, don't have the power or whatever. So they haven't gone willy-nilly giving themselves more powers and godlike powers and then taking them away or whatever. They're a bit smarter than that. But I have liked the ebb and flow, the roller coaster ride of the second season. I like they've spent a lot of money on special effects as far as I'm concerned with the time displacement stuff, the time storms and things that are happening in certain timelines. All in all, it's very interesting, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So if you haven't watched it yet, 12 Monkeys is available on streaming services, and you can get the whole season, I think, for about $35-40, the whole series, all of it. So there you go. It is available out there. 12 Monkeys. I'll let you know when I finish Season 2 and as we get into Seasons 3 and 4. Scott Hamilton, ROCKFILE. My links are below. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to a podcast. I hope you have a spectacular rest of your day.